Well, happy Valentine's Day. I guess it's technically a day early, but tomorrow is Valentine's Day, the day of love, the month of love in February here. And like I've said the last few weeks, we're focusing this month on the topic of love. Why, might you ask? Well, because love is probably one of the most troubling subjects when it comes to mental health. You don't believe me? Go to a high school or a middle school and look at how much mental anguish goes on between, oh, this boy likes me, this girl likes me, they don't like me, I don't like them. Are they gonna? Come on. I mean, I remember being in it. It's a real thing. I mean, if you're in that right now, I mean, more power to you. But this isn't everything. Life goes on after this. But I bring up the subject of love. Like I said, this is one of the most often heard issues of mental anguish that comes into the counseling office. I joke because, well, I remember being there and struggling through it. And I remember in high school we had to read an article by, and I'm going to date myself here, Dear Abby and her sister Ann Landers, talking about what is love and the differentiation between what love is. If you watched last week, you see that from a biblical perspective, we have a different understanding of love. We have the agape love of God. We have the eros love, that intimate love, that love, that erotic love that most of us think about when we think about February and Valentine's Day. And we have that philios love, which Super Bowl was yesterday. Philadelphia was in it. The city of brotherly love. It comes from the same, that same root word. Now, let you in a little secret. This was shot before the Super Bowl, so I don't know if they won or not. We don't know if there's any brotherly love. But, I mean, it's kind of a great segue. So, what do we know about love? Well, we know if we go to 1 Corinthians 13. I'm going to read this for you. You've probably heard this before if you've been around. It says this: love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it is not boastful, it's not arrogant or rude, it's not self-seeking, it's not irritable, it doesn't keep a record of wrongs, it finds no joy in unrighteousness but rejoices in the truth, it bears all things, hopes all things, and endures all things. Love never ends. Isn't that a great picture of love? Isn't that what you want? Isn't that the kind of love that you'd be looking for? Have you found really that love in that way? Have you experienced that? My guess, like many, is probably not. Why is that? Well, as we've already said, love causes so much anxiety, so much stress, so much anger in our lives because we don't understand it. We don't understand what love is. We don't understand truly what is meant by God is love. If God is love, how can it be, just think about this for a second, how can God be love and be what we see on just Valentine's Day? There's got to be more to it. Now, let me pause right here a second. There is such a thing as eros love, that romantic love, that love that we celebrate tomorrow on Valentine's Day. But let me make something clear. Those feelings that you have in your stomach, if you're dating, if you're in high school or whatever, and you meet someone, you get those butterflies in your stomach, and you're just drawn to them, that's not love. Let me make that clear. That is not love. That's infatuation. And going back to that Ann Landers, Dear Abby, that's what it was talking about, was love is not those feelings. Love is not those butterflies. That's infatuation. And infatuation, which is what I think many of us view love as, is not love. And when we try and view love as infatuation, if we do that, no wonder our picture of love is so skewed. No wonder when we hear the things like love is patient, love is kind, love doesn't envy, how can infatuation or those butterfly feelings give you the strength to stand strong, give you the strength to not to be patient, to not be rude, to be long-suffering? It can't. So obviously we're not understanding love. So eros, yeah, exists. But eros without agape and philios is nothing but infatuation. Yeah, I said it. Eros without philios and agape love is nothing but infatuation. We talked about this last week. If you haven't seen it, go back and look at what we talked about. In order for us to experience eros love, the kind that we celebrate tomorrow, in order to have that strong connection that eros love gives us, the way God designed, we have to first have the agape love of God and the philios love of loving one another as a person. Because without it, it's not love, it's infatuation. And so here's the thing, and here's the problem. I think if you look around, you'll recognize this. If we have those butterfly feelings, those what we would say love feelings, and we act on those feelings without having that agape and philios love, without having that foundation of love, those feelings, if acted upon, is lust. Think about that. Those feelings that you have, those love feelings, if you act upon them, it is sin. It is called lust. And so, therefore, if you want to have the type of love that we're celebrating, first, have that agape love. Have that Philadelphia love for one another. Because it is not about the way you feel. Okay? Matthew 22:37 says, love the Lord with all your heart, all your soul, all your strength, all your mind, and love your neighbor as yourself. Now, can you do that with only a eros love? Absolutely not. Can you serve the Lord? Can you have the strength to stand against what the world is telling you that you're crazy? God doesn't exist. God doesn't care. Do you have the strength to stand through that and love the Lord? No, it's not just, oh, cuddly Jesus, I'm going to hold him. No, loving the Lord is serving him. John 14:15 says, if you love me, you'll obey my commands. Out of love, there is an action that comes with it. There's an action that goes with it. Love takes action. Love doesn't just receive, love gives. Love gives patience. Love gives kindness. Love gives long-suffering. Love gives kindness and faith. We get back what we give, but we don't give so we get back. We give because it's that love, that agape love of God. So as we look at tomorrow, Valentine's Day, if you don't want to have, or even you're having right now, all of these confusions about love and your love life is just struggling, is giving you heartache, then stop and look at the way you're looking at love. If your relationship, your marriage, whatever right now is struggling, look at the way you are defining love. Is it patient? Is it kind? Is it long-suffering? Is it sacrificial? Are you giving? Or are you only looking for what you can get from it? Because if you're struggling with love, chances are you are struggling with a wrong understanding of love. Your mental health struggles because of a false understanding. Not just in love, but in all things. Your perspective changes the way you look at things, the way you interpret things. And so your perspective of love is going to interpret how you deal with things. So let me challenge you as you celebrate Valentine's Day tomorrow to really look, what is love? You want to know what love is? Get into the Bible, get into 1 Corinthians, get into John 14. Dig in. Jesus will show you through Scripture what it is. And if you'll do this, you'll remove so much of the heartache that really taints our idea of love. So be patient, be kind, be long-suffering. Love one another, but love God. And as you love God, as you're seeking, man, just lean on Him. I thank you for watching this. I thank you for really connecting with us and the questions that we've gotten from you. I really appreciate those. Your feedback has really meant a lot to us. But you know what also would mean a lot to us? If we saw you on February 25th, our Bible and Mental Health Seminar. You've probably seen the advertisements. I've maybe even talked to you about it. But we really want you here. We want to give you the right perspective. We want to give you proper understanding. Because right thinking is biblical thinking. Let's get into the Bible and understand what this is so we can help others the best we can. So we can erase improper perspective and give proper perspective. We want you to have the right foundation to build your life, your family, your communities on. But we need you if we're going to make an impact. So share this video, but also share the Mental Health Monday. Not just Mental Health Monday video, should I say, but the Bible and Mental Health Seminar. Share that. Invite people. As we're inviting you, you invite others. We look forward to what's coming up on the 25th. And we look forward to being able to speak with you again next Monday. Thank you and God bless.